What makes a guardian a guardian? We fight, we die, and we live again. But the day may come when we will be tested, when all we hold dear is threatened. And then we will see what each of us is truly made of.
Welcome to the channel, my name is Mageborn, and today I'll be taking a look at Destiny 2 Lightfall. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing as it will really help the channel grow. Destiny 2 is an evolving game, so today I'll be covering Lightfall and Season 20 Defiance. As Destiny does change with each expansion and season, some aspects I cover may be slightly different if you're watching this in the future. The story in Destiny has an interesting history. Some of the campaigns have been done really well, however some have been done very badly as well. Lightfall's campaign falls in the middle for me. There was no definitive ending to the chapter at the end of the campaign, and I know why they did this as the story will progress through the seasons, but some sort of ending after you complete the campaign would have been good. The gameplay of the Lightfall campaign was great. I have completed it 3 times, twice on Legendary and once on Normal. The different mechanics they've added to bosses during the story was really well done and made some fights really enjoyable. I do think I preferred the story of Witchqueen more than Lightfall, but these sort of things come down to personal preference a lot of the time. The Witness is a great villain and truly terrifying at times. The power the Witness wields is beyond anything we have seen so far in Destiny, and I am really interested to see how the story unfolds. The story to unlock the new subclass Strand was interesting, if a little complicated. I did find Osiris more annoying than helpful during these story missions. Here's hoping he takes a Scion Snipe to the face at some point. The ongoing story in Season of Defiance was done really well and had some emotional moments that impact the overall story going forward. It does have me hooked to keep coming back to seeing how it unfolds. The graphics in Destiny 2 are stunning at times. The effects from your abilities are really well done and they sell the power of them. The world feels lived in and real, and the characters all match the world they inhabit. One thing Destiny does well with its graphics is being able to identify at a glance what classes you're playing with and what weapons they are using without having to inspect them. Exotic weapons and armor is really recognizable, so you know what fellow Guardians are capable of. From the beginning of Destiny, we have fought the same 4 enemies: the Vex, the Fallen, the Hive, and the Cabal. That by simply reskinning these models and giving them some new abilities, they've been able to create new factions like the Taken or the Shadow Cabal, and they feel different enough while still being the same basic models is testament to the art team. Having a transmog system really helps Destiny as it allows people to make their Guardian look how they want to. That there is so many options and shaders is just another tick in the win column for Destiny. One thing Destiny has always had going for it is its excellent gunplay. You can get lost playing for hours just because of how fun it is just to simply shoot things. There are a wide range of guns and most of them are viable, so there will be a gun for everyone. Each class now has 5 different subclasses to choose from: Solar, Void, Arc, Stasis, and the new one Strand. This gives a lot of options for players to choose from and can find a class that suits their playstyle. Each subclass can also be modified using fragments to further customize your Guardian. The three main classes are Hunter, Titan and Warlock, and the easiest way to explain the differences is that the Hunter is a gunslinging cowboy, the Titan is a beefy tank, and the Warlock is your glass cannon mage. Obviously these classes aren't just that, but it's the simplest explanation. The super system in Destiny is done really well. The more you kill, the faster your super charges, so you're always pushed to engage in combat and not sit back. The mod systems further change how combat works, as you can select mods in your armor to increase certain stats or skills. You can make the Guardian you want to play. There is a bunch of progression systems within Destiny. The main one is your light level. You will start at 1600 as of the current expansion. As you complete activities and quests, you will gain items dropping at higher light levels. Drops from the world go up to light level 1750. Once you reach this light, you will need to complete activities that reward powerful gear. These go up to 1800. Once you are 1800 light, you will need to complete activities for pinnacle gear. There are also reputation systems with nearly every important NPC in the world. These reward different things on rank up, and you also receive engrams, which are basically weapons or armor. Each season introduces season objectives as well, which you complete for rewards and to further the season story. As you progress through the season objectives, different activities will become available. Every season brings a season pass as well, which goes up to rank 100 and each tier gives rewards. You rank up this pass by gaining any experience sources in the world. It is normally something that unlocks passively just as you play. As I mentioned earlier, the subclasses have fragments that you can use to modify certain abilities. These need to be unlocked or purchased depending on the subclass. The newest ones, so Strand in this instance, normally require quests to be completed to unlock. Having the fragments available to buy is a much better system than the pass system, and I prefer it overall. Destiny 2 has the familiar colour scheme for item identification: white, green, blue, purple and an orangey yellow. For most people, the only important ones are legendary, which is purple, and exotic, which is the yellowy colour. There are a lot of different weapons in Destiny 2, from hand cannons to rocket launchers. Each weapon type feels different to use, and within each weapon type are different archetypes. These can change how the weapon functions. You have 3 slots for equipped weapons, and there is a wide range of choices to which type of weapons you equip. The standard loadout is normally a primary weapon, such as a scout rifle, a secondary or energy weapon, such as a fusion rifle, and a heavy weapon, like a rocket launcher. This isn't always the way, as people can have 2 secondary weapons or 2 primary weapons, but they will always have 1 heavy weapon. Weapons can be leveled up and have different mods on them. Exotic weapons also have a catalyst that will enhance the weapon in some way. Catalysts need to be dropped by doing certain activities or quests, and then you normally have to complete some objectives to make the catalyst available. You can also equip 6 armor slots, a helmet, a chest, hands, feet and legs, and each class has a unique armor item to identify them. The Hunter has a cloak, the Warlock a bond, and the Titan has some sort of towel. 1 exotic armor piece can be worn, which can give your character a number of different options on altering how certain builds work. Armor pieces can also be leveled up and have a number of different mods that you can equip. There are a lot of options with the mod system, so there's something for everyone. Each season also introduces a seasonal artifact that your character equips, and as you level the artifact up, you gain access to different mods you can use for that season. These include mods to deal with champion monsters such as SMGs that can stun overload champions. There are also a lot of different currencies in Destiny. These have been reduced a lot from previous seasons, but there really is too many to go over, but you can normally use these different currencies with different vendors to buy different things. PvP in Destiny 2 is something I really enjoy and I also really hate, depending on the mode I'm playing. The casual PvP can be really fun as you're just thrown in with random people who are probably a similar skill level to yourself. For me, that's not very skilled. It's a mode you can just relax and enjoy the experience, win or lose. There is also competitive PvP, which is another mode I enjoy, as I seem to normally get put against people of a similar skill level again, and I win some and I lose some. However, the mode I don't enjoy is Trials of Osiris. I suppose this is the main endgame activity for PvP players, so it's to be expected, but the matchups never seem to be fair. Games go one of two ways: either we stomp the enemy team 5-0, or we get stomped 5-0. Trials is also full of really good PvPers, so the majority of the time they are just better than you, and it does not give you a chance to get better as you just die so fast. The good thing about Destiny 2 is that in reality, PvP is completely optional. You don't need to touch it at all. You will lose out on some weekly rewards, but that's nothing in the grand scheme of Destiny. If you enjoy PvP, there is content for you. If you don't like PvP, you can just ignore it. For me, it's in the middle. It's normally something I do last in my list of weekly rewards, but I do find myself playing normal PvP now and then just for fun. When people talk about the endgame for Destiny 2, they will always mention raids, which is the pinnacle endgame activity for PvE players. However, there is a lot more to the endgame than just raids. Raids are 6-player activities that you cannot find a group for in-game. You have to use an outside website to find additional players, as when you launch the activity, it will take the players you currently have. The raids are a lot like strikes, but way more in-depth. The boss fights are a lot more complex, and the raid itself is a lot harder to navigate than a normal strike. You will need some form of communication between your players to complete a raid. Raids drop raid-specific loot, which normally includes at least one weapon that everyone wants. However, as with PvP, raids are completely optional content. You don't need the weapons from raids to be able to complete other activities. You can completely ignore raids and still have plenty of endgame to do within Destiny 2. Each week you can receive different rewards for doing different activities within Destiny 2. You receive powerful and pinnacle rewards. The pinnacle rewards are normally from the hardest content, and that is what most people in the endgame will need. Going through each activity and endgame and improving your life score is the main loop of endgame within Destiny 2. Nightfalls are strikes that have been beefed up a bit. You can do them on different difficulties, culminating in Grandmaster Nightfalls, which is the hardest strike difficulty. Grandmasters drop specific weapons with added perks, which are something a lot of players will want. But just like PvP and raids, it's all optional content. You can choose what you do. You will be less geared if you miss all of the hard content, but if you're not going to do hard content, it won't matter. My favourite endgame activity is dungeons. I played Destiny 2 with one friend, so we find ourselves two-manning most of the content in game, which adds a little extra difficulty, but we enjoy it. Dungeons are normally meant to be completed in a fire team of 3. They are like mini raids for a fire team. They also drop specific loot only available in that dungeon. We always go into a new dungeon blind, not knowing any mechanics, as we like to try and work out the dungeon ourselves.
Guess you have to be there. Well, better get back to it.
The achievements for Destiny are a mixture of easy and hard ones. Some are really grindy and it will take you a good 40 or more hours. You have to complete the Last Wish raid and complete a title, which can be 2 of the hardest achievements in game, as the titles can take a long time to do and only a couple count for the achievement. If you want to get 100% completion for Destiny 2, make sure you check a guide beforehand and make sure that guide is recent, as the achievements have changed over time. I truly think Destiny 2 has evolved over time to be one of the best shooters ever made. It has so much content now that there is something for everyone. Each week you will have activities to do that will help your character grow. That the story of Destiny expands every season is another way of bringing players back each week. The gunplay in Destiny is very hard to beat. The general minute-to-minute gameplay is so fun and engaging that you can lose yourself in just killing things. I can't think of a game with better gunplay in it. The story in Destiny 2 is sometimes the strongest and the weakest part. It has definitely improved from Destiny 1 when you had to read Grimoire cards to find out what was going on. As the Traveler arc comes to a close with the next expansion, The Final Shape, I hope the story picks up and starts having stronger emotional pulls. I remember watching the E3 reveal of a certain character's death a few years ago, and it hit me hard. I want to feel that sort of thing again in Destiny. One of the best things I think Destiny 2 Lightfall has going for it is simply giving people choice of what they do when they do it, and so much choice in the character creation process as well. So, is Destiny 2 Lightfall the perfect shooter? In all honesty, I would say it's pretty damn close. I have played a lot of games and a large portion of those games have been shooters, and I can't think of many I would put above Destiny 2. Destiny has just so much content available now that anyone who likes shooters can find something for them to enjoy. That the base game is free is a huge plus. Not sure if Destiny's for you? Just download it and try. You will know within the first few hours if it is for you or not. And what have you lost? A couple of hours of your time. The tier list currently just has Borderlands 1 on it, which I reviewed earlier for this channel. Borderlands would be in the C tier from its review, and Destiny 2 would easily be in S tier. Will it stay at the top of S tier? That I'm not sure about, as there are a couple of games I need to try and see if they can dethrone Destiny 2 Lightfall. But for now, it sits at the top of S tier, and I would highly recommend Destiny 2 to everyone. Thanks for watching, and if you have a shooter you would like me to try, leave it in the comments below. Safe travels, Guardian.